Our next guest is Snuggles. He is a Rex mixed rabbit, and he's about 3 years old. So if you're not too familiar with rabbits, they obviously have breeds like dogs do, and cats. And Rex mixed rabbits, or Rex rabbits, are known for their velvety, soft fur. So when you pet Snuggles, his fur is very, very soft. He arrived at the shelter. His owner was not able to keep him because they were no longer able to live in their current home, and they had to move to a place that allowed no pets. So the shelter often has a variety of types of animals. Predominantly we have more cats than we do dogs, and then probably the next largest population animals we have is either rabbits or guinea pigs, but then we also have hamsters and mice and gerbils and sometimes roosters and chickens. And it all just depends on the day of the week sometimes. So we take in rabbits all the time, and what we try and do is educate people on rabbit care. A lot of times people will come to us and want to adopt their first rabbit, and they don't know a lot. So we actually have a lady who volunteers with us, and she pretty much teaches you the ins and outs of rabbits. Rabbits need care just like cats and dogs, and I think sometimes people feel that because maybe they're smaller, rabbits can live outside. We don't prefer that. We don't recommend it, but they don't maybe feel that they don't need as much care, and that can be not the best way to look at adopting a rabbit, because they need regular vet checks, they need certain things in their diet to keep them healthy. They need to be properly supervised around small kids because they can be very delicate and they can break bones somewhat easily. So right now Snuggles is not neutered. That is something the shelter does. You can acquire a rabbit from a lot of different places. The one thing when you adopt a rabbit from our shelter, we spay and neuter all rabbits before they go home, and that does help with some behavioral problems that rabbits can have. So Snuggles, 3 years old, his adoption fee is $50. We have color-coded him blue, and those of you that are familiar with our color coding system, that does mean that he is the easiest to handle. On a scale of all the rabbits we may ever have, he is going to be one of the easiest ones to handle, meaning he's sitting nicely in Randy's lap. He's not trying to get away. He adapts to new people or new situations fairly easily. He's not scared of those things. You can pick him up. So he would be a good rabbit for maybe a first-time owner. He'd be somewhat easier to acclimate to your house, and then also for you to get used to him since you would be picking him up and those kinds of things. So if you've ever been curious about rabbit ownership and you've thought about it, please stop in and visit us. We are more than willing to set you up with our volunteer that handles our rabbit adoptions. She can give you all the education you need, and then you can make a good decision. If you already know you're interested in a rabbit, Snuggles may be the rabbit for you. We right now have one other rabbit on our adoption floor, and between the two of them, I'm sure you could find one that fit what you're looking for.